I'm Big Rick Stewart. Welcome to the podcast for the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. It's a radio show that I do every Saturday at KVYN 99.3 FM, 99.3 The Vine in Napa Valley. You can stream from 993thevine.com. You can search for KVYN on TuneIn. You'll hear fun music and great information, including 10 at 10, a Beatles brunch at noon, songs from my days at Live 105, KFOG, KFOX, new songs, and more. And you'll hear great information like this. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. All right, a few weeks ago, a week ago, whatever, I told you about the Police having this box set that was coming out. Just incredible, right? I got another notice about another box set, and details here are from Ultimate Classic Rock. It's going to be out in September. And this is like a must-have for you Bob Dylan fans. One of the most famous tours Bob Dylan ever did was back in 1974 with the band. Now, without going into a whole bunch of musical history, the band was the band, and then Bob Dylan recorded with them, but then Dylan hadn't gone out on tour for quite a while, and he hadn't played with the band. But then in 1974, these much-loved musicians all came together again, and they did a series of shows. There was a live album released, but are you ready for this? This box set coming out in September. Bob Dylan, the 1974 live recordings of the shows, live concert recordings, 27 discs, CDs, 431 tracks, 417 previously unreleased from this tour. And this was like a groundbreaking tour. They did 30 shows over 42 days, sometimes an afternoon and an evening show at the same venue. They only sold tickets by mail, because back then, that's kind of how you did. And they said that in San Francisco for the show, there was a 5-block line of people waiting to get into the post office to be one of the first to submit a request for tickets. So it was a really big deal. And it's a historic tour, and Dylan fans are going to go nuts for this. There was a set from the band, a set from Dylan, and a set of them together. I think this is only the Dylan part of the tour. Anyway, are you ready for this? Can you handle 27 discs of live Bob Dylan coming out in September? Wow. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. You know what's not good? Not good is running out of gas when you're on your gas grill and the tank is empty and you went, uh-oh. Come on now, it's happened to you. It's happened to me. If it hasn't happened to you, it's going to. You should always have 2 tanks, but even if you have that, sometimes it happens, right? If you can't remember the last time you refilled your propane tank, well, I have an easy solution. Now, there's a few ways to do this. You can get a pressure gauge if you're into the exact numbers kind of person. Okay, I mean, that's all good. But this is really easy, and I've done this, and it works, and you can do this as well. And it's safe. Don't worry about it. A glass of hot water, just a coffee cup with some hot water in it. It doesn't have to be boiling or anything. And you drizzle that over the tank. Top to bottom, drizzle it down the top. Now, when you run your hand over that, where it's hot from the hot water, that's empty. Where it cools off, that's the level of the propane. And it has to do with propane and heat and stuff and whatever. But just know that the empty tank will be hot like the hot water, and then the propane level, you can feel the difference in temperature. And that level is where your propane tank is maybe high, maybe low. Now, don't freak out if you go get your propane tank filled and you try this and it's not filled all the way to the very tippity top, because they have to leave room for some of the expansion for safety. So they're not always full all the way. And in fact, I've heard it said that those exchange propane tanks that you can get all over the place, you just drop off your old one and pick up the new one. I've heard those are actually kind of not as filled as they will fill for you at the place that doesn't. Whatever, convenience, right? So anyway, try this. Hot water down the side, feel where the difference in temperature is, and that's where your propane is. Have a backup tank, and this all reminds me that I think I'm running pretty low. I did some chicken the other night. I think I need to get some more gas in my tank. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's a Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Hey, if you are of a certain age MTV News was like one of the coolest things ever because there was no internet. You couldn't just get things or get an alert or a text or follow someone on social media. There wasn't any. But there was MTV News, so you could find out all about all the bands and the things and the tours and the announcements, and it was really good. It was a little bit paparazzi. It was also kind of like useful information, and it was really cool. Well, things have changed, of course. And Paramount now owns the MTV stuff, and they recently took MTV News offline. I mean, like they just said, you don't need this online anymore, so it went away. But now, thanks to the folks at the very cool Internet Archive, you can now check out 460,000 articles from the history of MTV News going back to 1997. So, I don't know, you want to read about Oasis or, plug in the name of a band or a musician or No Doubt or something, and, something will come up. They took this content down a little bit ago, but now it's back up in a limited form, but they're going to add some more. Michael Alex, who founded and led MTV News Digital Group from 94 to 2007, said that it's incomplete, but it's very impressive. It's like a treasure when you find something you're looking for. It is really cool. I mean, I've been doing radio a long time, and I used to watch MTV News always, and then I would search for information and bands and stuff. It was great. So big thanks to everybody involved in the Internet Archive's Wayback Machine for keeping MTV News from the past alive. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. Some new laws went into effect on July 1st. You may not, have heard about these. Maybe you have, and some of these might be affecting you because there's a couple of them that are involved with the local restaurant and liquor wine bar business. Now I got your attention, right? All right, so these laws went into effect July 1st. They are happening right now, if everybody's doing the right thing. Drug testing kits in bars. This was Assembly Bill 1013. This is from Fox LA. Businesses with an on-sale general public premises alcohol license must sell drug testing kits at a price not much higher than wholesale and post notices about their availability to prevent drink spiking. Wow, in addition to kits in the form of strip stickers or straws that can test for common date rape drugs, there must also be a sign for patrons notifying them they are available for sale or at no cost depending on the establishment. This applies to bars and nightclubs where beer, wine, and distilled spirits are sold for consumption. Minors are not allowed on the premises and food is not required. All right. How about hidden fees? Senate Bill 478. This law requires that advertised or displayed prices for most goods and services include all fees and charges, excluding government taxes and fees. This specifically targets short-term lodging like Airbnb. You look up at a price at Airbnb. Wow, that's a really good deal. And then cleaning fee, it's like, what? It like tripled the price of your stay. The new law aims to prohibit junk fees across a range of businesses, including restaurants, bars, and delivery apps. All right, restaurants will need to factor surcharge fees into menu prices as opposed to simply advertising them at the end of the meal. All right, so look into all these, and there's a few more. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Obey the law, or you might get in trouble. It's a Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. Man, I wish I had this little app. I could have used it recently. I was down in Phoenix and Scottsdale. It's awesome down there. That's a really cool place to go. I know people go there for spring training baseball and they play golf a lot. Yeah, it was really hot when I was there, but still, I really liked it. And I'm at the gym at the hotel, and I'm getting in a little exercise. Why? Because I don't know where to go. I don't want to just walk around and get lost, but I would have loved to have gone for a walk. Okay, check it out. If you have an iPhone, this is for iOS, you can get this new app called Strolly, Strolly. Strolly. Doesn't matter if you're visiting a new city or even at home, you want to go for a walk, maybe something new, something a little different. Strolly will use your input saying I don't know, I want to walk this far or this way. It'll give you 3 options. Usually it's a loop near your current location. It'll give you a short, medium, and a long one, and you can flip through those routes. And if you don't like it, you can just flip again and it will recommend another route. Here's what's kind of cool though is they don't like take your data and store it somewhere and it goes to a server and it's something like all these media companies do. It just stays right on your phone. It's just a nice little thing. There's not even any turn-by-turn directions. It just has a little thing and it shows you where to go. The app aims to include local points of interest and to not go over the same road twice. Little variety, whether you're on vacation or even if you're at home. Maybe you discover some new cool place and you can customize it and it doesn't, invade your privacy or any of that stuff. It doesn't track where you go or any of that. It's called Strolly, and look for it in the iPhone App Store, Strolly. I'm going to give it a try. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. Good walking show today, right? At 99.3 The Vine. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Hey, one of our famous and really cool places to visit here in Napa Valley. One of our famous Napa Valley wineries has just won a gigantic, huge award. This is an article from Forbes written by Joseph Micallef. The Decanter World Wine Awards, among the most prestigious and largest wine competitions in the world. The 2024 judging saw more than 18,000 wines submitted. All right, among those 1,000 American entries, only 106 medaled. Only 2 took platinum medals. And check this out. The sole North American producer to claim the honors for the top red wine varietal blend with a score of 97 out of 100 is right here in Napa Valley. Trefethen Family Vineyards. Wow. Sounds great, right? They've been making wine on that property for a very long time. They restored the original 19th century winery building and they had trouble after the earthquake, as I recall, so they kind of did that again. It's a great place to visit. One of the most beautiful driveways in the Napa Valley for, driveway selfies or something. I don't know. Watch out for cars and all that. They have an estate-grown philosophy at Trefethen, and they won this giant award for their Dragon's Tooth red wine blend. The Decanted World Wine Award said, intrepid aromas of richly peppered blue and black fruit with a sheen of minty refreshment, structured, polished, and densely textured with indulgent tannins and a penetrating bead of fine acidity. Built for the long haul. All right. One of my favorite wines, one of my favorite places in the Napa Valley, just south of Yountville, just north of Napa Valley, right there in Oak Knoll District. You've seen it a million times, even though maybe you didn't know you had. Congratulations, Trefethen. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. That's some of the great information you can hear on my Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Check out the show every Saturday, 99.3 FM in Napa Valley. You can also listen from 99.3thevine.com or KVYN on TuneIn. Thanks for checking out the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack podcast.